Hmm. All right. Apologies for that rocky start. Um. So, all right. So it looks like we're relatively synced. Yeah, like I fucking forgot that I had Skype open still, and so like I couldn't access my camera, and I had to restart OBS. I was stringing a multi-person Skype through the fucking shit. So let's fix this shit. Let me get a tweet out here. There we go. Live weekly discussion stream. And then Colb P. And then that. And then that'll be available in my Discord. Tagging everyone. Okay. There we go. Wait for some folks to pile in here. Apologies for not doing this yesterday. Bunch of shit came up. It was the plan, but basically yesterday, compounded with the fact that I had to take a roofing job on Friday, everything's fucked up. I still owe a client a graphic that I said would be done by day's end yesterday. Shameful. But I am focused. I am trying to finish that. There's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to get off my plate. So I'll be working on that. And there was just a stream on this channel as well, and a stream on Jacob Winograd's Biblical Anarchy channel yesterday that was also relatively good. So, lots of good stuff coming. Feel free to... Yeah, William, I have a weekly discussion stream. And that weekly discussion stream is where audience members can like directly interface with me. I do it like typically on Saturday, but sometimes it gets bumped to Sunday because I have like things in the way. Yesterday, what I had in the way was the Biblical Anarchy stream with Jacob Winograd on Biblical Anarchy podcast. So like I wasn't gonna like do a poor quality version of this stream, and I was fucking exhausted from a previous day of roofing and demo. So, yeah. Yeah, like that I have fucked genetics. They mean that I have severe anger problems. I have night terrors since I was 4. I have dysomnia. Fucking I have all the senses when I dream, and I start dreaming like pretty much as soon as I close my eyes. I can dream if I'm tired enough. Um, I'm pretty fucking schizo in a lot of ways, but it does mean when I get done with the previous stream, I can pretty easily transition into this one because I've got energy. Like I heal quickly. I fucking I've got the metabolism that means that I don't really get fat. So, little perks. I can deal with fucked in some ways to get those. I rarely get sick, and then when I do, it's very manageable very quickly. But yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about during the stream, feel free to throw subjects in the chat. General plans this week. I'm prepping for something at AgoristNexus that I can't quite talk about yet. I'm also doing some cool shit involving the podcast when we do get that back up and going. So we're going to be getting that back up and going relatively soon. I'll let y'all know when. And we're also doing some, some interesting things that should be advancing our position relatively soon. So imagine that. And also, like, that, on that level, there's going to be more stuff elsewhere. And as soon as possible, I'm going to be starting an LLC so that I can start funneling stuff through it. But what that'll also mean is that I'll have a P.O. box. So if folks want to send me stuff or do sponsorships that involve physical goods, I can start accepting that. So that'll be a thing. But yeah, this last week, just as an update, I did a stream on Biblical Anarchy. I did multiple things throughout the week. And I also did that, obviously, vlog stream last Sunday about the Manosphere. So if anybody wants to watch that, that's also available. Well, the Real Libertarian stream. The vlog streams are always these. So that's all there. But this week could be short. If people in chat don't want to talk about a whole lot, then I'll just fill people in. I've got articles coming this week. I've got various things that I'm going to start taking care of. And by the end of April, I want to have finalized some songs that I can release to y'all. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to get all artistic and shit up in this bitch. So with all that, I've also got any sort of job that comes up in Spokane I'm going to take. So this week I did a day of like roof teardown / papering / demo inside. So that took up a day, and there'll be a day or maybe more in like other parts of April where I'll be painting another place, or maybe that place. I don't actually know, and I don't care. But as an update, fucking anybody who's been following this channel for a bit now knows, like, or my social media, or who's in my Discord knows that I've been dealing with a particularly unpleasant woman living here. And as a result, things have been generally louder. Things have been generally more annoying. And occasionally she has been directly, like, I don't want to sound like a victim, but she engaged in things that any other situation would call physically abusive. Like throwing my food and stealing from me on other occasions and things like that. And of course, she was fucking like she was constantly Blair singing Ukrainian anthems and anthems associated with Ukraine, because of course she fucking was. And so the update is she's gone. And so things will be quieter around here probably for at least the next short bit. And what that means is I have more time to make content and more room to be focused, because it's so fucking hard to be focused when I have to have something blaring in my ears in order to prevent me from hearing the useless bullshit around the house. So that problem is dealt with. And like, that wasn't even it. Like, there's so much. I could go on a rant about this. I'll just say, like, she once called the cops on a housemate because of a sprinkler that was aimed at her car, and she thought that that was on purpose, but I think the sprinkler just got kicked or something by somebody. And it's not like she needed to park there either, and it's not like her window was open. She parked her car, and then the sprinkler hit the outside of it, and she called the fucking police. and claimed that there's this one person who did it on purpose, trying to intentionally sabotage her vehicle with a fucking sprinkler. And so I had to stop my workout one day and go talk to the fucking police. And another time she called the police was this last week, which was when I was going to do my stream on that day. And she called the police on her son because he got into an argument with her. I heard the fucking argument. There was no crime committed. But she called the fucking police. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Yo, she left her window open once, which is a security vulnerability. And shouldn't fucking happen. We shouldn't have to deal with that here at the house. And, like, she did that, and then water from a sprinkler got in there, and she comes back to the house, throws a fucking tantrum because it hit her computer, when she could have just left the window closed instead of leaving a security vulnerability for all of us. It's like, well, play inconsiderate games, win inconsiderate prizes. You know? You fucking know? So, suffice it to say, she got removed. Eventually. And now, because of that, let me just flex here for a second. She left in a hurry and didn't plan ahead much and didn't have a place for all of her food. So now I have months worth of staples that I will definitely be putting to good use. So that's going to help me financially for a bit. Yeah, good stuff. So there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot more content coming because I can fucking breathe again. There's going to be content coming that I couldn't make before because it was too fucking noisy, or because there were cops, or because there was some sort of fucking bash around, or because some unnecessary conflict from her or somebody she knew. That is, unless somebody worse moves in, which is always a possibility. But it'd be difficult. So I'll put it that way. And I'll have more time not dealing with the shit that I had to deal with because of that. So I will personally be freer to do things like writing articles and shit. So, yeah. Much more time for more. Ding dong. Rose. Well, I'll talk about how awesome the Real Libertarian series is and how anyone watching should check those out. Yes, yeah. Yeah, and Rose was on there, and we had a relatively good time, and the general goal of those is to discuss what real libertarianism is and how the party has fallen short of that. We sort of put the nails in the coffin of the party. There will be more party discussion probably in a couple weeks, but the next one on Sunday will be about philosophy. It'll be more philosophy focused, because I think we've sufficiently driven in the nails in the current partyarchy, and we got to give it a couple weeks to recover, to lick its wounds, so that it can be just as bad as it always was. Yeah, this most recent episode, we started to really hammer down on some of the basics involving platform changes and how those things are based in corruption. And this last one we had on Rose, Hody, and Anarcho-Appellation. And Anarcho-Appellation has an account on Anarch-Unity. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he puts out. It's going to be good. That is a site that I'm going to have more time to put in more energy into as well, because, relief. So, yeah, Lots of stuff coming. Lots of stuff coming. And I'm grateful to everyone who has been there for these streams because, you know, I'm a fucking asshole who can carry a stream, but like, it, like, without alternate perspectives, I don't think I could adequately deliver the point. I think if I, try to just say what I think, it's worthless to a conversation about a group of people. I need to include people in that group or without that group so that we can have a conversation about how that group affects itself and others. And so, like, that, like, general application, I think the fact that we started basically this series by talking about the Libertarian Party is good because now the Libertarian Party knows what the problems are according to us, and now we get philosophical and solutions oriented and shit. And I could see this lasting so many episodes. Basically, like, you know how in New Libertarian Manifesto, Samuel Edward Konkin III, he had this thing where he directly attacked partyarchy for a significant period of time, and then after attacking partyarchy for that significant period of time, he proved that there's a viable alternative to it. That's what I want to do. I want to do that. I want to attack partyarchy sufficiently so as to demolish it as a means and then show what real means can look like. So, philosophy, real world praxis, if you have a project that you are involved in where, like, liberty is the focus, or like it's a consequence of your actions is an increase in liberty, then feel free to hit me up and we will talk about that. Tired though, that's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. And hoping that anyone who appreciates this kind of content and wants to see more from me and anyone else will support the Patreon and also like, share, and subscribe when they do like what they see. Because, like, if more people were just willing to share, if more people were just willing to tag their highlights in the posts, if more people were willing to just, talk about this in a positive way, more people might be willing to look at it. And that's what we really need. We need more hands on deck, more eyes on streams, more people watching what really matters. And I think, like, so many people lately have been, like, talking about my content and saying, like, it's better than they expected. It's like it's less like what they were told to expect. Like, it's more, like, grounded, it's more realistic, it's more reasonable than they expected me to be. And a lot of those people are coming from outside circles who had heard bad things about me, from one or more people, and those people won out in these people's minds. And they just never decided to check. But then, like, certain people took a chance. They either had me on their shows, or they like were on my show. They took a severe chance. Like, the people who have been, like, talking to me lately, like, those people, they're actually engaging in an act of boldness. And I'm not making that up, because most people won't. Most people have thrown me out, or tried to get me thrown out. That is my lot. And some of it is earned. It's not like I'm a fucking sunny disposition, awesome person to hang around. But at the same time, like, it's not like they've proven me wrong either. So it's like, for the most part, there have been things that I've been wrong about. There have been things that I've not been completely, fucking accurate about. There have been things that I've needed to retract. There have been things that I've needed to apologize for. Like, my severe apologies to two clients I can think of that I need to finish their graphics jobs on. Like, I'm not perfect, but a lot of people have blackballed me in a lot of places. A lot of people would rather I just fade from existence and are very annoyed that I haven't yet, and are even more annoyed when other people help me not do that. Like, so It's like, it's a whole thing. Like, the fact that thousands of people hate me, it's both upsetting and fucking hilarious. You know? Rose is like, or we just didn't know better than to associate with you. Yeah, yeah, see? Surprise! You're hanging out with one of the worst people on the fucking planet. Oh, also, hello, Valor. Hope you be well. But yeah, like, I aim I aim to displease. My content is hard. It's not fucking easy shit to talk about, to think about, or even to do. Um, so I understand that a lot of people don't want it. And I also understand that my fucking presentation leaves a lot to be desired. I need to make better produced content. And I'm going to. Y'all are about to see some shit. Especially with some of the music that I'll be putting out, because the fact that I have this music software means that I can get away with making some very interesting music and just selling it, but also putting that in my content. So basically, nobody can tell me, like, I can't have a certain soundtrack because I can just make the soundtrack. You know? So. And I love you too, Valor. I, I'm hoping to be worth it. I'm hoping to be worth the support people have thrown. So, Rose says social outcasts always turn out to be the best people. Sometimes. Sometimes they're Epstein. So, you know, but although, to be fair, he wasn't a social outcast to begin with. He was in the in crowd while it was convenient for them, and while it seemed like they could still get away with uh, their particular rarity of steak, as it were. Uh, you know, so he was, like, very well accepted for too long. So I guess what you're saying is, like, the people who are social outcasts from the beginning and basically stay that way. Yeah. I see. I don't know who William Afton is. I think it's related to FNAF, if I remember correctly. But yeah, like, and after about 30 minutes, I'm going to cut the stream and go do a workout. But I'm going to, like, answer as many questions as possible within the next 6 minutes. Uh, so if anyone has anything they need me to talk about, feel free. And then next week, I will make it longer, especially since I'll have more to talk about. And I'm also going to be responding directly to the comments that have been on my content, because there have been a lot that I just haven't gotten to. You know, William, when you say I've seen what society welcomes being an outcast is preferable, it's hard for me to not just think, your boos mean nothing, I've seen what makes you cheer. Valor says William Afton is the murderer of the kids. See, I don't know. I haven't played FNAF, so I have actually no idea what you're talking about. They're bureaucrats, Morty. I don't respect them. Um, Valor says also today is the middle of Lent and it's Holy Cross Day. Aha. Well then, amen. Probably. Rose says William Afton is the child murderer from FNAF, according to my FNAF obsessed kid. So, I appreciate the offer, Valor, but at some point when I can afford it, I'm gonna get a decent internet connection so I can actually stream gaming again and stream it right this time. And when I do, I'll one of the first things I'll do is FNAF. So, William says R.I.P. the good episode, good episodes of Rick and Morty. You know, it was always fine. But yeah, like, my next step is to afford quite a bit more. And that's one of the reasons that I'm going to start the LLC, so that I can start upping my money. The LLC is going to be my platform for getting richer, because I'm so tired of treading water. I am so fucking tired of it. I'm fucking tired of it. And I didn't do it before because I didn't want to start a corporation, but at this point it's either do this or work for a corporation, because this ain't working for me. I'm not going to tread water my whole life and live with housemates for the rest of it. Fuck that. So, the LLC will be a thing soon. It has to be on the Oculus if you stream FNAF. I would. It depends on what's cheapest. I'm not gonna splurge, and I might not even get VR. Um, and I might know people who are willing to just send me theirs. It all depends. It all depends. But one of the things I do know is that, like, if I can get some things going here, there's a possibility that I'll have an influx of what I need in order to afford certain things. Oh, well, I'm not going to have a problem with getting past levels, even if it's Oculus, because I've had survival horror gaming experience since I was very young. Like, one of the survival horror gaming experiences that I think everybody should play is Silent Hill. It's like, I played my first Silent Hill since I had an Xbox was Silent Hill 4 The Room, and that made me a solipsist, because when you meet Cynthia in the subway station and she says, "This is my dream. I can decide, you know, I can have some fun, you know." And like, I was like, you know, I can't even prove that this isn't her dream in a way that would satisfy her. And what does that tell me about experience and knowledge? I don't really know shit. I'm just sort of assuming that I do. So, Silent Hill is great. And if I can deal with Silent Hill, I can pretty 100% deal with FNAF. But yeah. Well, so Rose, I recommend, if you like gaming at all, I recommend trying Silent Hill 4, because you can get it really cheaply on GOG.com. And it's one of those experiences where after you experience it, you're going to be like, "Oh, this is one of the reasons he was mentally ill as a kid. That explains shit." Um especially the music. The fact that Silent Hill and the Sonic franchise and so many video games included industrial music is why I like industrial music so much. And I could just go on for fucking hours about industrial music. I can annoy the fuck out of people about industrial music. Industrial music is the shit. I am a rivet head above all other types of metal. But Silent Hill 4 um, was my intro to that franchise, and like, basically uh the guy who made the music for it, Akira Yamaoka, he was directly and primarily inspired by Nine Inch Nails, which should tell you everything you need to know about the kinds of sounds you're going to hear in a Silent Hill game. It's like, oh, clanging metal, screeching, um, wailing in the distance, grinding guitars, things smashing into other things, things crunching, things breaking, things being destroyed and also simultaneously oozing. Like, it's excellent. It's really good. It's not worse than the nightmares. It's sort of just like returning to them. As far as I was concerned, Silent Hill was like, yeah, I've been there. There were certain times in the game where I knew what to do because I'd already sort of done it in a nightmare. So, Valor says, "What do you think of Tails doll as a character and not a creepy pasta?" Eh, I mean, I get the aesthetic appeal, yo, but like, it was a brief thing in Sonic R, and that wasn't even one of the best Sonic games. It had a great soundtrack though, you know, like all of them, but those blocky characters and the way they ran, like we gotta admit that that wasn't peak Sonic, you know. And also, I'm not into the whole like creepypasta thing for the most part. I just like the aesthetic of some of the art. Like, I don't care what the certain people's characters do or are. What matters to me is that it's funny and also uh, gory, and it upsets people when I post them. So, Valor says he needs to return. He has so much potential. Well, you can always mod him into Frontiers. But either way, yeah, these streams happen every week at around, typically at around 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays. So expect that to come back at that time slot. And expect a shit ton of content this week now that I have more time, space, fucking peace, and quiet. It's been very stressful. It's been exhausting. It's been eternally frustrating. And now, things might be better. So, now just to not fuck this up and actually use it. Because holy shit, could I use this break if it works. So, with all that being said, expect a shit ton more content this week. And, smash the fucking state.